You won't believe this. Toyota's best-selling SUV might now be the worst deal in its class. Reviewers in 2025 called it aged, uninspired, and overpriced, while Honda, Hyundai, and Mazda made serious moves. So how did the RAV4 lose its edge? And which 8 SUVs just leapfrogged it for the same money? Honda CR-V. A new CR-V came out, but Honda didn't shout. It just let Toyota keep talking. Since 1997, the CR-V has quietly built its reputation as the SUV for people who don't want to brag. In 2025, it doubles down on that legacy, but now it brings the specs to match. While the RAV4 hovers around $29,800, the CR-V enters at $30,100 and immediately starts throwing punches that Toyota didn't see coming. First, the hybrid. You don't have to climb trims or pay premiums to get one. The Sport Hybrid trim gives you 204 horsepower, a combined 37 miles per gallon, and a drive that feels smoother than most sedans. It's quiet. It's responsive, and it's refined enough that test drivers have compared its comfort to small luxury crossovers. The cargo space? 39.3 cubic feet, more than enough for weekend hauls or a Costco panic run. Rear passengers get room too. The stretched wheelbase creates lounge-like space in the back row, and families with teens or child seats will notice the difference instantly. It doesn't just fit more, it fits better. Design-wise, the 2025 CR-V isn't trying to look aggressive. It looks grown-up. You get a wider stance, cleaner LED lighting, and standard roof rails that don't pretend to be off-road gear. They just work. The hands-free tailgate is quick and doesn't need a magic foot dance to open. Underneath all of it is Honda's secret sauce: long-term trust. CR-V buyers rarely switch brands. Now that it's more efficient, more spacious, and more premium, why would they? So what happens when an SUV stops trying to be trendy and just focuses on being great? Now let's talk about one that drives like no SUV should: Mazda CX-5. Mazda didn't build the CX-5 for everyone. They built it for the drivers who miss how cars used to feel. While most compact SUVs chase features or fuel economy, the 2025 CX-5 aims for connection. From the moment you slide into the cabin, you'll feel it. Soft touch materials, precise layout, and that clean, driver-first cockpit. It's not just functional, it's welcoming. And for just $29,050, it's easily one of the most premium-feeling interiors in its class. But looks aside, it's the drive that changes the game. Standard all-wheel drive, base 2.5-liter engine pushing 187 horsepower, or step up to the turbo and unlock 256 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque, enough to hit 0 to 60 in 6.2 seconds, a full second quicker than most in this segment. It handles like no other SUV on this list. You corner, it responds. You brake, it settles with confidence. Car and Driver called it athletic without being punishing. That's rare. Fuel economy? Around 26 to 31 miles per gallon city on highway with the base engine. Not class-leading, but when you're having this much fun behind the wheel, it feels like a fair trade. And thanks to Mazda's subtle styling updates, the 2025 model keeps that mature, European-inspired look. Long hood, sculpted sides, tasteful grille. It doesn't scream, it speaks. Here's where it separates from Toyota's RAV4, the experience. The CX-5 doesn't ride higher or offer more screen inches just to compete. It simply feels more alive, like a car built for someone who still cares about the joy of driving. So if you've ever said SUVs feel boring now, Mazda was listening. But what if you could get both flash and function without paying more? The next SUV does exactly that. Let's look at Hyundai's biggest surprise. If you're enjoying this story, give us hype for this video right now. Hit that subscribe button and drop a like so this series reaches every explorer out there. The next car is seconds away, and trust me, you'll want to be here when it drops. Hyundai Tucson. By mid-2024, dealerships started getting calls. Customers were asking the same thing: is this really the Tucson? Hyundai had spent years quietly rebuilding its image. Back in the early 2000s, people joked about them. Cheap, plastic, basic. But the 2025 Tucson flips the script, and hard. It now looks like a concept car drove off the stand and into real life. And yeah, you noticed that right away. The design? Sharp angles, futuristic lights, hidden daytime runners. It's bold. Especially compared to the RAV4's familiar shape, people see it parked and do a double take. But that's just the wrapper. The inside feels even more unexpected. The screens stretch wide, the center console floats, and the cabin feels more open than most in the segment. You sit down and think, how is this under 38 grand fully loaded? Even the base trims offer strong value. For around $37,395, you get a hybrid that averages 35 miles per gallon, plus lane keeping, adaptive cruise, and wireless Apple CarPlay that used to be luxury territory 5 years ago. Now it's Hyundai's opening pitch. Drivers say the ride feels smooth but planted. It's not sporty like the CX-5, but it's easy, calming. Everything just works. And that's the trick. Hyundai made something bold without making it hard to live with. One downside? Some critics say the power is underwhelming, but most buyers shrug that off. They're more impressed by how much they're getting for the price. So what happens when value meets ambition? You get people rethinking everything they thought they knew about Hyundai. But then there's the one SUV where value hides behind an engine trick people don't fully trust. Nissan Rogue. In 2021, Nissan took a risk. They built a turbocharged 3-cylinder engine and put it in their best-selling SUV. At first, people didn't know what to make of it. 3 cylinders in a family SUV? It sounded like a gamble, but then the numbers came out. 201 horsepower, 225 pound-feet of torque, and up to 37 miles per gallon on the highway. Suddenly, it made sense. By 2025, the Rogue has matured into one of the most efficient compact SUVs in the country, and it costs just $29,230 to start. That's lower than most competitors on this list, and yet it gives you features like Pro Pilot Assist, a panoramic moonroof, and built-in Google Maps support, all standard on upper trims. The cabin feels cozy, not flashy. Nissan calls it family quiet, and they're not wrong. Materials feel upgraded, the touchscreen is quick, and the rear seat room is one of the best in the segment. You don't feel cramped, you feel considered. So what's the catch? That engine. Some drivers say it feels sluggish off the line, others don't trust the long-term durability of a 3-cylinder. There haven't been mass failures, but the hesitation's there. It's the trade-off Nissan made to boost MPG. But for daily use, the Rogue delivers a balanced, useful experience that makes Toyota's RAV4 feel dated. And for tens of thousands of families, that's all they want. Quiet reliability, modern tech, and better gas mileage than expected. Then again, not everyone's looking for balance. Some buyers want grit, and one SUV has quietly kept a 96% survival rate over 10 years. That stat alone changes the whole conversation. Subaru Forester. Over 96% of Foresters sold in the last decade are still on the road today. That's not a sales pitch, it's a survival stat. Subaru built its name on trust, earned on icy roads, snowy driveways, and dirt trails across the US. The 2025 Forester keeps that same blueprint, just sharper, safer, and more grown-up. For around $29,995, you get a boxier shape with better visibility, symmetrical all-wheel drive, and a chassis that's built to handle real weather. It's one of the few SUVs in this price range that feels confident during a snowstorm, not just pretty in a parking lot. Inside, it's quiet, functional, no gloss overload or cluttered panels. The materials feel durable, the layout is clean. Subaru doesn't chase trends, it builds for people who keep cars longer than leases, and it shows. Fuel economy, around 35 miles per gallon for the hybrid version. It's not the quickest on the road, but that's never been the Forester's role. It's the SUV you get when you're thinking 5 winters ahead, when safety, traction, and long-haul reliability matter more than acceleration stats. So why do some buyers skip it? Simple. The infotainment can feel behind, and the engine's a bit dated. But if you're okay with that, it returns something rare, peace of mind over time. But what if you wanted all that confidence, wrapped in European style with ambient lighting and massaging seats built into the deal? Volkswagen Tiguan. Massaging seats under $35,000. That's how the 2025 Tiguan starts the conversation. Volkswagen didn't just redesign this SUV, they rebuilt its identity. The new Tiguan takes styling cues from the Golf, stretches the cabin space, and adds touches you'd expect in an Audi, and for around $30,245, it delivers a driving feel that's smoother than most Japanese rivals. The turbocharged engine hits 228 horsepower, giving it a confident pull on the highway. It feels solid, planted. German engineering in the compact SUV world still means something. You notice it in the corners, you feel it in the silence of the cabin. But that's not the full story. Inside you'll find ambient lighting with 30+ color options, a curved infotainment display, and that massage function? Standard on higher trims, VW leaned into comfort but didn't strip the fun. The balance is tight. You're getting design without losing utility. Cargo space is solid. The digital cockpit is clean. And reviewers say the 2025 model finally fixes the frustrating touchscreen layout from the last generation. Small wins matter. However, some buyers worry about long-term reliability. VW has had a mixed track record in that area. Maintenance costs can add up if you're used to Toyota's set-it-and-forget-it ownership. Still, if you're chasing something that feels a little more refined without climbing into luxury pricing, the Tiguan makes a strong case. But what happens when a value brand gives you one of the best warranties in the country and still undercuts the RAV4 by thousands? Straight off the lot. Kia Sportage. In 2022, Kia changed its entire identity, and the Sportage became the proof. The old rounded shape vanished, replaced by sharp lines, boomerang LEDs, and a cabin that felt way above its price. By 2025, the Sportage has grown into one of the strongest values in the compact SUV segment, starting at $27,390 for the LX trim. You sit inside and feel the difference right away. The dashboard wraps around you like a modern lounge. The twin-screen setup stretches long and clean, and that's the moment people say, how is this under 30 grand? A fair question. The warranty has also shaped its reputation. Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage still leads the segment, and it changed buyer behavior in the US starting back in 2001. People who stayed away from Korean brands slowly turned into believers. Performance stays simple, smart, steady, enough for daily life. Fuel economy sits in the mid-20s to low 30s depending on setup, and the hybrid version offers even more savings. The handling won't thrill performance fans, but everyday drivers love the comfort. Seats feel cushy, cabin noise stays low, families get the space they need without paying premium prices. Some drivers mention slow acceleration on base trims, but others trade that for style, tech, room, and warranty coverage that feels like a safety net. So the Sportage builds trust through value, design, and time-tested coverage. It's practical without being boring, and stylish without climbing into luxury pricing. But what happens when an SUV gives you every powertrain option, gas, hybrid, and plug-in, and then runs into years of debate over its place in the market due to a major cut in trims and a rumored discontinuation timeline? Ford Escape. Ford made a bold move in 2023. They trimmed the Escape lineup, cut several trims, and focused on tech-heavy versions with cleaner design. By 2025, that move shapes the entire SUV's personality. The base active trim starts around $28,150, while higher models climb toward $39,895. The Escape carries a long history. Back in 2000, it entered the market as Ford's answer to the growing compact SUV boom. It became one of America's most common family vehicles during the 2000s. So when Ford downsized the trim list, fans felt nervous. But the new strategy sharpened the Escape's identity. Inside, the cabin feels open and practical. You get a big touchscreen, clear menus, and enough headroom to make long trips feel easier. Cargo space sits around 37.5 cubic feet, giving families enough room for luggage, strollers, or gear. The ride feels smooth, especially with the hybrid powertrain offering around 30 miles per gallon combined. And this SUV offers something few others do at this price: flexibility, gas, hybrid, and plug-in. Many brands cut their plug-in options, but Ford kept it alive. That one move matters for commuters who want electric miles without jumping to a full EV. There's a debate, though. Some longtime Ford fans believe the Escape lost its rugged personality, especially after the Bronco Sport took the spotlight and sales dipped, and critics questioned whether Ford would retire it by 2026. No confirmation exists, but the speculation keeps growing. So the Escape stands in a strange place: strong tech, flexible engines, and a loyal following watching its future unfold with caution. But what happens when the long-running favorite in this segment still holds the biggest brand advantage in the country, even while facing rumors about its aging platform and a major redesign cycle tied to 2026 production data? Toyota RAV4. The RAV4 has been America's best-selling SUV for 7 years straight. Over 434,000 units sold in 2023 alone. That kind of dominance doesn't just happen by chance. It started back in 1996, when Toyota brought the RAV4 to the US as one of the first compact crossovers. Smaller than a 4Runner, bigger than a Corolla wagon, it was a weird mix, but people loved it. It drove like a car, handled bad weather like a truck, and gave families something new. Fast forward to 2025, and the RAV4 still leads in total sales. But the game around it has changed. The current generation launched in 2019, and aside from small tech updates, the core design hasn't moved much. Meanwhile, rivals have redesigned, added new powertrains, and refined their interiors. That leaves the RAV4 feeling older, especially when priced at $29,800 to $31,250. It's still reliable. You get a 2.5-liter engine with 203 horsepower, up to 35 miles per gallon, and a proven 8-speed auto. A WD is available. There's a hybrid too, but the cabin layout now feels dated. The screens feel small compared to what others offer. The ride is firm. The road noise is higher than most expected. Toyota has confirmed a major redesign for the 2026 model year, and that's where things get interesting. Rumors say they're going all in on a new software platform, but until then, the RAV4 sits between eras. Still dependable, but no longer leading. So if you're paying 30 grand today, do you go with the legacy leader or choose the SUV that's newer, bolder, and surprisingly faster off the line in 0 to 60 tests by more than a full second, according to 2025 comparison data from Edmunds and Motor Trend? You thought the RAV4 was a no-brainer, but the truth is messier. There's one more SUV we didn't name, and it might be the best of all. Click on the next video right now.